We continue to see cases of the coronavirus rise in California. One thing ABC 10 News has been keeping an eye on is the impact the pandemic is having on our local Hispanic community. Numbers show an outsized impact in that community, and local activists have pointed to some socioeconomic factors as a cause. Joining us to talk about that and how local leaders may want to look at approaching this problem, a member of the San Diego County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Martin Arias. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Now, I know that you have pointed to certain everyday realities that deal with transportation and work and home life. Can you explain how you believe those factors are contributing to the high number of cases in the Latino community?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in the communities of color, we're often tasked with essential jobs. And so we have to go out into the community and perform these daily tasks and jobs. And so, with a lack of resource in our community specifically, it's difficult to purchase PPE. And I've personally firsthand gone out to look for different sources of PPE. And I walked into the local Home Depot the other day and I noticed that they were selling 50 surgical masks for $30. And so if you're specifically focused on trying to provide essential, everyday needs for your family, it's going to be difficult for you to spend $30 extra, especially in the crisis that we're living in now.
And I know you've also talked about the realities at trolley stations, for example, in terms of the difficulty to social distance when you have to wait in a line and you don't want to miss the bus or the trolley, and also about working in the service industry where you don't have luxury of working from home.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the places, and you don't have to go too far from where I live. I live in the 92154 zip code, and in that 92173 in San Isidro, I know that there's consistently a lot of movement in that area, right there on the corner of East San Isidro Boulevard and Rail Court. There's tons and tons of people who they cannot social distance just because of the layout of that facility there, and a lot of people, as I mentioned, don't have enough money for PPE, so they're just having to, just be really close to each other, sandwiched in, and it's really a terrible situation.
So one of the things that you point to as a possible solution is a bottom-up approach as opposed to a top-down. Can you explain what that would entail, how it would work?
Yeah, at the last kind of press conference that we did, we talked a lot about agencies that are embedded in the community, and we talked about a grapevine approach, if you will. And I think that we, as the county, we have to do a better job of bringing a lot of these agencies to the table. They're truly part of the expertise that is embedded in the community. And I think that, as the county has historically done so, they consistently go into communities and tell the communities what it is that they need, not necessarily taking into consideration the experts in the community. And I can speak firsthand to that as I participate, and I am a part of the San Diego County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and we do a lot of work with the community, for the community, but we also always take into consideration what it is that they need, and we do a lot of like community meetings, if you will, and grab their input, and then we kind of, based on that input, at the end of the day, we do decide, but based on their input, we make better educated decisions, and that way we're better able to serve the community as a whole.
So going forward, do you feel like you need more support from county leaders in order to employ what you're talking about?
I think the most important thing is just to have a seat at the table. A lot of times we're not even taken into consideration, and I absolutely understand that, because historically you don't look for a chamber to be part of the troubleshooting or part of the solution. But in times like this, when they're your outlet, and I'm not saying that the chamber is the end all be all solution, but there are a lot of faith-based community leaders and groups out there that have the same really pull, if you will, and clout in the community that can really access tons and tons of community members with just the click of a button.
All right, Martin Arias, we really appreciate your insights in this with the County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Thank you again.
Thank you. I appreciate you.